Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's funny to hear Adam say that this is the first time that I will address a Calgary audience as Premier. Of course, this is my hometown, and when I look into this audience, I see so many people who have been such good friends for a very long time that it doesn't feel that way to me. But I do know that it is that, and I appreciate you being here today. It's a tremendous honor to be here, and Nancy, thank you for those remarks, which were very kind. It certainly has been a wonderful 50 days, and I'd like to thank the Chamber for asking me to come here today. I'm pleased to have the chance to speak to you today about the province's economy and about our place in uncertain times, our place in Canada in uncertain times. The global population is growing, and its needs and its wants are expanding too. We have 7 billion people on the planet, and many of them aspire to a much higher standard of living than they currently have. And those who already enjoy it want to do more responsibly. They want to mitigate the impact of their consumption, and they expect producers like us to respond. The world needs food and energy in greater quantities than ever before, but demand it with fewer consequences for the environment. And Alberta is uniquely placed to meet this demand and excel despite the short-term negative impact of our neighbors' woes on our finances. We can become preferred suppliers on a global scale. The mechanisms that we need to achieve this are already in place in this province. Our agricultural sector maintains a sterling reputation, and our energy industry is at the leading edge in production, innovation, technology, and compliance, all areas that this government is working to improve even further. In all of these areas, we have a skilled workforce capable of expanding production in the environmentally and socially responsible way that we as Albertans demand and the rest of the world demands. Our resources are therefore not just profitable, but strategic. Simply put, Alberta is opportunity. And so long as we begin to lay the foundation that establishes this province as an international hub for commodities and expertise, this will remain true for a long time to come. But we can't forget why we are doing this. Our search for new markets can never overshadow our highest priority, and that is to continue to provide a high quality of life for Albertans. It is our responsibility to ensure that every Albertan shares in the benefits that our capabilities can afford us. The wider that we spread prosperity, the more that we gain. And you understand this as well as I do, which is why I've been saying we all along. Quality of life is not purely a matter for government, and we know that in this community, and we know that in this province. Alberta is a place of independent-minded people, and the private sector plays an important role in building our community in partnership with government. Many of you in this room today have achievements that go far beyond the professional work that you do. You sit on boards of nonprofit corporations and organizations. You provide your expertise, you provide financial support, and you use your network to develop further financial support for community agencies in this province, in this country, and in this city. You devote a significant part of your lives to giving back, to strengthening the bonds that hold Calgary together by reaching out to the less fortunate with compassion, in the hope of making a positive change in their lives, which makes a difference to this city every single day. Government must support your efforts by making things easier for you so that you can do the same for others and to complement the public sector's work. And there is one way to go about this from our perspective as a government, and that's to ensure that we can continue to grow Alberta's economy. Expanding industry, investing in innovation, and tuning our tax structures to support business, ensuring that our regulatory framework will set outcomes that will allow you to do the work that you need to do to innovate and invest in this province. These are the methods that we must use to fund and support our public services, and to deliver for community. And working together, we have achieved that in the past, and we can do much more in the future. These are also the tools that we need to build Alberta's wealth and create opportunities for philanthropy, for personal fulfillment, and for nurturing the community relationships that make Calgary and Alberta a place worth living in. Despite the tenuous world economy, we can still protect and preserve these aspirations. Alberta has incredible natural advantages that allow us to accomplish things that no other province can hope to achieve. We can use them to build, even as others struggle to stay afloat. And that's exactly what this government will do, in partnership with you. We have the ability and the will to sow the seeds of a brighter future, one that Albertans have told us not only that they want, but that they believe is possible. During our recent public roundtables on the budget, Albertans overwhelmingly indicated that health and education continue to be their priorities. And as Nancy commented on, I truly believe that investing in education at the secondary and the post-secondary level allows us to continue to grow our economy, a knowledge-based economy that will take us much further than we can even anticipate today. Albertans expect high-quality public services, a comfortable standard of living, and they expect fiscal responsibility, which we can do without deep cuts. We can deliver without soaring expenditures, and we can deliver without long-term debt. Alberta has the distinction of being the most economically free jurisdiction in North America. We have low unemployment, strong job growth, and a reliable economic engine that is positioning us to lead Canada. Our tax regime is one of the most competitive in the developed world. And even as other economies flounder, we are attracting investment and we are attracting skilled workers. Our small businesses are second to none, accounting for almost a third of provincial GDP and over 3/4 of all of our enterprises and employees. And our large businesses continue to thrive and to invest in innovation. Of course, we know that not everything is coming up roses. We have a tough budget ahead of us. The costs of core services like healthcare and education continue to grow. And our largest trading partners are weighed down with unsustainable debt loads, anemic growth, and high unemployment. And Alberta can't help but be affected to some extent. In the current fiscal year, as you know, provincial revenues will be $1.2 billion more than predicted, which is really quite unique in North America, and thanks mostly to increased land sales. However, our forecasted deficit will be $3.1 billion, which is it's lower than the original forecast from last year's budget, but $1.8 billion higher than the first quarter projections, which speaks to the volatility of the economy right now and our susceptibility in that environment. This is largely due to international factors that are beyond our control. The U.S., our main customer, remains weak. American debt now exceeds $15 trillion, and cross-party efforts to try to find mutually acceptable solutions are leading to more acrimony. Unemployment remains stubbornly high and growth stubbornly low, and a solution seems farther away than ever. When I was in Washington last week, it was very clear to me that there was a great deal of concern about the next 12 months. The debate between the environment and jobs, I think, will be critical as we move towards the elections next November. Europe's trouble, of course, adds to the mix. Despite the international bailout package that the European Union has tried to put together, there's still a strong expectation that Greece will default on its debts, and other EU members like Italy and Portugal are struggling to avoid the same situation, which I think many say is inevitable. And from a provincial perspective, government has seen increased outlays due to disaster relief, such as the support that we've put into Slave Lake since the fires in May, and our renewed commitment to primary education, which I've talked about before. We're not living in the best of times, but neither are we mired in the worst. And however grim our partners' economic struggles, they do not define our destiny. The Alberta Advantage, Alberta's opportunity, will ensure that we stay in an enviable position of strength. We will make the most of our characteristics, our unique characteristics, and our ability to lead an economy to deliver what Albertans want. We will keep taxes low while maintaining strong public service and an opportunity to grow wealth. Our plans for stable multi-year budgets for these services, for public services, will bring unprecedented discipline to public spending at the provincial level and also public spending at the local decision-making level. We've talked to governments about this. We know that this is what Albertans want, and we will make it happen. Hard decisions on the part of past governments have allowed Alberta to eliminate its long-term debt and to build up a savings account, our sustainability fund, to see us through these rough patches, and they certainly are rough. We will continue to conduct regular budgetary reviews to search for savings wherever we can, and you'll know that right now, as a caucus and a cabinet, we are full into budget planning, and I can tell you that it's been a different process than I've seen in all of the time that I've been in government, and I'm very pleased with what the outcomes will be from that. We will manage our finances, and we will protect future Albertans from debt. And we remain committed to balancing the budget by 2013-14 without the sharp cuts that Albertans fear. This government will never lose sight of Albertans' needs or back away from providing support to our most vulnerable. We will provide services for all, no matter what the outside world throws our way. We will keep working for Alberta's families. We will keep creating jobs. We will ensure that their hopes and dreams can be met. I know that this government can do more than we've even done in the past to surpass them. And even if this fog of another recession descends, we have to ensure that we've set a clear path forward. And we in North America are in a unique position to be able to do that. There's no doubt that diversifying our customer base to focus on hungry developing nations is the key to long-term success for us, whether we're talking about food or energy. We must pursue opportunity wherever we find it, searching for new partners, new markets, and promoting Alberta on the global stage, just as many of you do in this room every day. And even as the Western world falters, other economies are thriving. And I think we know that better in Calgary than many places in the country. Asia's star is rising, and Asian nations are poised to dominate the 21st century. Best of all, we know that they are eager for our resources and our know-how, particularly with respect to energy. And we can deliver in a safe, secure, and environmentally responsible fashion. But we can't go it alone. The rest of the provinces can join our efforts and escape the trap of low growth and high debt into which so many others have fallen. Canada is an energy-rich nation, blessed with an incredible array of resources, from the oil sands to hydro to natural gas, nuclear, and renewables. No single source is better than any other or can stand on its own. Innovation is the key to developing our capacity to producing them all at competitive rates. Collaboration is the key to developing the infrastructure necessary to get our energy to market. The more the provinces work together to harness and transport their respective resources, the greater our shared prosperity will be. We need a Canadian energy strategy. The provinces must begin a dialogue to develop shared outcomes that their energy systems can serve and benefit from. Collectively, they should use energy to foster national economic growth and competitiveness, seeking out new markets, and setting an agenda with respect to environmental sustainability that we can all be proud of as Canadians. Canadians all face similar challenges, although some of them don't realize it yet, notwithstanding that there are different forms of energy under development in different parts of the country. We all need to deal with international market uncertainty, fiscal issues, public opinion, environmental protection, and regulatory concerns. Untangling the web of self-interest that divides this great nation will not be easy. But if the provinces are willing to work together, they can transform Canada into a global energy leader, drawing sustainability on multiple sources in a way that benefits the world and our citizens without compromising anyone's quality of life. We can become models for countries dealing with similar issues. And it's time for us to leave old antagonisms behind. And it's time for Alberta to be the one to say that. The oil sands have come in, of course, we know, for particularly sharp criticism from the rest of Canada. We must be willing to forgive and forget and to work together for our mutual benefit. We must ally with other provinces to attain the greatest possible prosperity, but we can't dictate terms. And frankly, we don't need to. This must be a genuinely cooperative endeavor from which everyone gains. And at the end of the day, we must recall two things. One is that there is no Canadian energy strategy without us. The world will need fossil fuels for a very long time to come. The oil sands are poised for growth as one of the few energy-rich areas outside the unstable Middle East. They will be essential, as the International Energy Agency has said recently in this past month. But the second thing to remember is that there is no Canadian energy strategy without our partners. The infrastructure that we need to get our oil and gas to market must cross other provinces' lands. And the federal and provincial regulations that will inevitably shape how Canada's environment is protected, how our energy is extracted, and how it's transported will require input from everyone to have the greatest net positive effect. We must rise together. There is no other way. Alberta's success depends on partnership with the provinces. And the health of each and every province is inextricably linked to the strength of the global economy. On every level, we are stronger together than apart, because far more unites us than separates us. Although Canada can't entirely escape the downward pull of its long-suffering trading partners, this doesn't mean that the rest of the country is doomed to suffer any more than Alberta will. We have a way out, and it's time that we used it. It's time to stand up and show others how Alberta and Canada can lead globally on all fronts, from the economy to the environment to energy. Our shared future, Canada's future, is worth infinitely more than the quarrels that we've seen in the past. And together, we can and we will shine. To ensure Canadians' prosperity, the provinces must translate this realization into action. And I pledge to you that Alberta will lead in this, and Alberta's government will ask provinces across this country to join us in setting that direction. Thank you.